Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you immigration law on your side.
Magandang gabi mga kababayan, ito po si Kuya Yo ng PHLV Radio at kasama po na naman natin si Attorney Flomy Diza, partner at Reeves Immigration Law Group para po sa isa na namang episode ng ating Immigration Law on Your Side. Mga kababayan, mainit po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong episode na ito dahil nga po nung Lunes lamang ay nag-tweet ang ating presidente regarding suspending immigration by way of an executive order. So tatanungin po kaagad natin si Attorney Diza hinggil po sa issue na yan. Pero po bago natin tanungin si Attorney, i-welcome po muna natin. Attorney, magandang gabi po sa iyo.
Magandang gabi, Johan, at sa lahat ng viewers and listeners natin. Good evening po sa inyong lahat at tunay ngang mainit ang ating usapan ngayon dahil nung April 20th, gabi ng Monday at nag-tweet po ating Pangulo at sususpendin daw niya ang immigration. At marami sa atin, as you said, hindi lang sa PHLV Radio, kundi sa atin din, mga abogado, marami mga kliyente at marami mga taong nagtanong sa atin kung ano ang mangyayari kung sakaling gawin man ng ating Pangulo, ang pagsuspende ng immigration.
Yung po bang ganong gagawin ng ating presidente, what is the president's legal authority in terms of declaring such a thing?
Yes, magandang tignan muna natin yan kung ano yung authority ng ating Pangulo to proclaim or to suspend immigration. We look at the form of government ng United States. Kagaya ng Pilipinas, ang US is, it's a democratic country. It is a federal democratic country where the power is vested dun sa tatlong branches ng government. Napag-aralin natin to sa civic and history natin, where the power is vested to the executive, vested in the president, and the legislative department, ito yung Kongreso po natin, yung House of Representatives and Senate that enacts law, and of course the judiciary, Supreme Court, interprets the law. Now, as an executive department, ang Pangulo natin ay may karapatan na mag-implement ng immigration laws yung pinasa ng Kongreso. At kasama dito yung, kung natatandaan mo, mag-issue siya ng executive order to implement the law. And if you look at the history ng ating immigration, isa doon yung Pangulo yung paggawa ng immigration reform, panahon ni Reagan, at yung 245I, panahon ni Clinton, and panahon ni Obama yung executive order ng what do you call this, DACA, yung Deferred Action for Child Arrival. Pangulong Trump naman ay yung pag-rescind ng DACA at yung pag-ban ng mga 7 Muslim-dominated countries. So that's one way of looking at the authority of the president regarding immigration. And also, aside from the form of government ng ating bansa, ay titignan din natin yung sa Constitution, yung Article 2 ng Constitution where it empowers the President over immigration and yung accepting immigrants in the United States, at also yung mga tinatawag natin na executive orders or presidential decrees. So doon natin titignan yung authority ng Pangulo, and as we go along at sa mga kababayan natin, it's not that we are tatakutin namin kayo or anything. No, this is an evolving news. No, although it's a breaking news as of today, it's still a revolving news dahil hindi natin alam if the president will eventually actually implement or make a proclamation. Kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung substance ng gagawin niya at kung magagawa ba niya ito. Dahil as of now, Kuya Yo, magre-rely lang muna sa tweet, but we don't know if they're going to implement or going to enact that tomorrow or next week or next month. But it's gonna be a wait and see sa mga kababayan natin kung ano talaga ang substance ng kanyang ipapasa.
Malamang, Attorney, this will be connected doon sa, of course, protecting the country against COVID-19. Mabalikan natin ang history, Attorney. Historically, noon bang may mga malalaking events din, mga global pandemic na ganito, like for example, noong 1918, yung Spanish flu pandemic, yung ating bang mga presidente noong panahon na yon ay gumawa din ng ganitong ganitong uring mga orders?
No, now if you look at the law, whether they did that in the past, or the answer there is no. Although may batas that would support ang action ng Pangulo, Title 1242 of the US Code that states the President can stop immigration for health reasons. And as we all know ngayon, mayroon tayong pandemic, and as of now, we are almost 750,000 cases of COVID-19 in the United States alone. And there are about 40,000 deaths in the US alone. And worldwide, I think it's more than 2 million already. And that's one of the reasons where a president can actually stop or suspend immigration for health reasons. Now, aside from the title code na nabanggit natin, now as you mentioned, nung 1918 pandemic, if you look at the history, they still allowed, yung mga, what do you call this, people to enter the United States despite the pandemic. If you look at World War II, in the 1940s, the US still continued to grant yung visas and allowed migrant workers to immigrate into the US. But as we mentioned, aside from those that nabanggit natin, and inherent sa power ng Pangulo, yung tinatawag nating police power. Police power, meaning that the president has the authority to enact or enforce a law that he thinks would help, help the public interest, public health. That's one way of looking at it. Pero all those powers ng ating Pangulo Johan ay mayroong din namang limitation, di ba? As we mentioned, that's why we are a democratic country, nagkakaroon ng check and balance. Now, if we think that the president overstepped the boundaries and limits granted to him, nandyan naman ang Supreme Court that would always interpret or declare whether or not the president's action or proclamation is constitutional or valid or not.
Marami ang nabahala nga dito sa development na ito as what attorney outlined a while ago. This is a developing story at hindi pa natin alam ang detalye, pero mga kababayan, tumutok lamang po dito sa ating programa para po naman sa mga updates regarding sa development na ito. Pero attorney, ito po bang stopping or shutting down immigration per se, do you think at this point it will help stop the spread of the coronavirus?
Personally, to me, I think it's not. I mean, no, I have to take that back. If you look at the past month, Johan, as early as March, nagkakaroon na tayo ng stay in place, quarantine, lockdown, however you term that, At even the national government under President Trump, ang sinasabi niya is we need to be stay at home. Ang recommendation ng kanilang health expert is to stay at home until the end of this month, April. Now, ang sinasabi naman ng ibang mga what do you call this, mga governors ay nasa kanilang power, na tignan kung pwede na mag-reopen ang ating business. But if you look at it, Johan, na-suspend din naman actually as of this time. Kumbaga isang buwan na rin sarado ang US as early as March sa mga Chinese nationals na mag-travel sa Amerika. And then after that, dahil sa pandemic dun sa Italy, France, and sa Europe, UK, actually ni-stop din niya yan. And some other Asian countries. So in effect, and plus nga pala, yung mga embassies natin, they are closed. So essentially at this time, suspendido na ang issuance ng visa. In fact, walang sarado ang US Embassy in the pag-process ng mga visa. So essentially, what I'm saying is, would this stop the COVID-19 spread? I think we need to listen sa ating mga health experts, sa ating mga leaders, na sila nakakaalam kung anong dapat nating gawin. And as of now, nakasuspend pa rin naman ang immigration. But I don't think that long-term suspension would help. I mean, as long as we follow CDC guidelines, yung social distancing, stay at home for now, right? At pag naka-recover naman tayo, and eventually, Johan, at sa mga viewers and listeners natin, we are really praying hard na magkaroon tayo ng vaccination, di ba? So that we can move freely. Kasi kung may vaccination natin at immune na tayo dito sa COVID-19, most likely babalik tayo sa normal. And hopefully darating panahon na yon na magkaroon tayo ng vaccination or even treatment. And as we're reading the news, ang Gilead Sciences, yung remdesivir ba, sinasabi nila is na-cure na raw, but mas maganda siguro kung mauna muna natin makita yung vaccination para we can freely move from one country to another. Babalik tayo sa normal nating buhay before this COVID-19 pandemic.
Talaga po naman mga kaibigan na alter ang ating ang landscape, in terms of our daily lives. At kahit po attorney, marami tayong mga kaibigan na mga advertisers din dito sa PHLV Radio na mga travel agencies, talagang tigil, naka-stop ang kanilang mga operations. And dagdag pa ito mga kababayan sa iba't ibang mga updates pa na ibigay na namin sa inyo sa previous episodes. At mamaya po pag-uusapan po natin ang iba pang mga updates regarding sa immigration in the face of this global pandemic. Inuna lang natin itong issue na ito dahil kalalabas lang po at developing story pa ito. At kung kayo po ay nanonood at pinonood nyo ang downloadable podcast ng episode na ito, ay maaari pong nagkaroon na ng development. So pumunta lamang po sa ating website sa phlvradio.com o kaya po sa website ng Reeves Immigration Law Group para sa pinakahuling update regarding this topic. So attorney, I'm sure indulan din po kayo ng tawag sa inyong law firm regarding this issue, ano po?
That's true, Johan, and ang advice ko sa ating mga kababayan, sa mga kliyente, prospective clients, sa mga listeners and viewers natin, again, we don't know exactly what's the substance ng proclamation na to kung magkakaroon man. And again, as we said, there's always a limit ng presidential authority to implement a law or even to president's power over immigration. We still have a courts, to interpret what the president said. But ang isa pang advice ko sa kanila is if you're entitled to any relief now, right? Kung may mga gusto pa kayo petition ng family members ninyo, kung gusto niyo magpa-file ng petition sa mga employer, sa mga magulang, sa anak, if you have not done yet, or even filing for citizenship, or naturalization, Kuya Yo, the law is still the law as of now. And if, for example, there would be a subsequent law, kagaya ng proclamation ng ating Pangulo, pag nagawa na ninyo yan, ang position natin that it should not affect if you already had filed a petition, right, or acted on an immigration benefit in the past. So kung sakaling parating palagi yung proclamation ng ating Pangulong Trump, it should not affect or impact yung mga applications nyo. So, yun ang palagi nating ina-emphasize sa ating mga kliyente at sa mga viewers natin that if something na gusto nyo gawin, do it now before this proclamation becomes effective.
Tama po yan. So, attorney, maibigay po natin ang kondisyon ng ating opisina. Mga kaibigan, ang Reeves Immigration Law Group, as I've been told by Attorney Diza, ay nakabukas in terms of Skype or Zoom, or you can call them po, attorney?
Yes, karamihan ng mga businesses, mga law firms kagaya namin, we are still working, we are functioning, we are working from home, we are working on your cases remotely, and we are used to it na. Kuya, you're staying at home.
Nasasanay na.
Nasasanay na tayo, and we're doing Zoom and Microsoft Teams, mga Ring Central, lahat ng klaseng yung mga conferences na gagawa natin, lahat yan sa mga kliyente natin, sa mga prospective clients. We do offer free consultation at this pandemic time. You call our office or you email us. We give you legal advice sa mga immigration concerns po ninyo, yung mga kamag-anak ninyo. Libre po ang aming consultation at this time, and we waive the consultation fee. We have several offices, in the US. We have one in San Francisco where I am based. We have one in Los Angeles area. We have also one in China and one in Makati, Philippines. And we continue to serve. Kahit nagsarado, as we mentioned in the past, at pag-usapan natin later on, Kuya Yo, yung mga immigration offices, yung pag-file ng immigration benefits, continue po yan. Continue pa ang pag-file kung pa-expire yung work authorization nila, kung nag-asawa sila ng citizen at di pa na-file, it's time to do it now. And don't make an excuse that this pandemic would stop everything. It should not. No, this pandemic should not stop us from doing what we're doing. Kasama dyan yung pag-render ng immigration help sa ating mga kababayan at sa mga kliyente na kailangan ng ating tulong.
Maraming salamat, Attorney. Mga kababayan, patuloy po kung nakikinig sa Immigration Law on Your Side. Hatid po sa inyo ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Na-knockdown na natin ang issue na itinawag nyo sa PHLV Radio about that tweet ng ating Pangulo. And again, if you're watching this or if you're listening to this as a podcast or a downloadable platform, maaari pong nagkaroon na ng update. Pumunta lamang po sa mga website ng phlvradio.com at sa www.rreeves.com. Mga kababayan, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Marami pang mga updates si Atty. Diza hinggil po sa Immigration Court. Ano pa ba yung mga nakasara? Ano yung mga kailangang i-file nyo na habang naghihintay kayo sa bahay, nandyan lang kayo sa bahay at pwede namang i-online yan. So abangan po, pagbabalik po ng ating Immigration Law on Your Side, mag-a-update pa po kami dalawa ni Attorney para po sa inyong lahat. Diyan lamang po kayo, magbabalik po ang Immigration Law on Your Side.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Alright mga kababayan, nagbabalik po ang Immigration Law on Your Side. Hatid po sa atin ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Marami pa pong mga updates sa panahong itong naka-stay at home tayo at ito pong nandito po tayo sa panahon ng global pandemic ng COVID-19. With regards to itong mga facilities ng ating immigration attorney, ma-update lang natin ang ating mga kababayan hinggil po sa Immigration Court. Nakabukas pa po ba ito? Nakasarado pa po ba? At meron na po bang plano kung kailan po sila magbubukas pong muli?
Well, bago ko sagutin yan, Kuya Yo, at habang nagkaroon tayo ng break kanina, nakita natin kung ano yung mga inside stories ng possible, what do you call this, proclamation ng Pangulong Trump regarding suspending immigration. They were saying that exempted dito ang mga healthcare workers. So marami sa mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas, yung mga doctors, medical doctors, nurses, physical therapists, and any healthcare workers, hindi po daw po kayo affected. And again, these are rumors as of this time, but it's always a glimmer of hope that despite this possible proclamation, hindi maapektuhan mga yon. And also they were saying hindi rin affected ang mga asawa at anak ng US citizen or lawful permanent residents. And that's also a very good news. No, aside from the healthcare workers, Kuya Yo, kasama dyan yung mga nasa food production, nasa farm workers, those people are not affected daw kung sakali magkakaroon ng proclamation. And again, caveat lang sa ating mga listeners and viewers, wala pang actual proclamation. And siguro sa sunod na topic namin ni Kuya Yo ay tungkol kung magkakaroon man ng proclamation na isa-isay natin at tignan natin, gamayin natin kung ano yung sinasabi ng proclamation na yan kung mai-implement man. Now, doon sa tanong ni Kuya Yo na update sa mga government offices dahil mayroon pa tayong pandemic at lockdown, order in place ng ating mga governors at ng President Trump at ng CDC and health experts. Ang USCIS, ito yung immigration, nagkakandak ng interviews, nagkakandak ng oath-taking, naturalization, citizenship, adjustment, or green card in the United States. Sarado po sila until May 3. So they're supposed to reopen May 5, yung the following Monday. But again, as you mentioned, Kuya Yo, look at our website, our Facebook page, and our lahat ng ating social media, yung ating mga updates kung tuloy na magsasara ang USCIS. Kasi marami na rin naghihintay natin mga kababayan yung kanilang interviews. And hopefully, there's also a possibility din ito sa USCIS na yung mga family-based immigration where during President Trump's presidency, no? Lahat ngayon ini-interview niya ang green card. So kaya dumadami at nadidelay mga interviews at approval ng green card dahil yung president's yung USCIS policy is to conduct interviews sa lahat ng mga nagpa-file ng green card sa Amerika, but now there's ongoing I think memorandum or possible na order from the USCIS na hindi na sila magkakandak ng interview. And hopefully kung ano man yung kulang sa application kagaya ng marriage based, for example, magpa-provide na lang sila ng parang joint documentation to show relationships instead of going to the interview, baka i-request yun at wala ng interview. But as of now, sarado pa po ang USCIS, kasama dyan ang Asylum Office. At sa mga immigration courts naman, yung mga nasa removal or deportation defense cases, sarado sila hanggang May 15. Actually, lalabas lang yung order na yan today. Hanggang May 15 pa. So kung titignan natin, 3 weeks pa ang hihintayin yan, which is good sa mga kababayan natin na na gustong maghintay pa ng their day in court. Now, doon naman sa mga consulate abroad, as we mentioned, hindi lang sa US Embassy ng Pilipinas, kundi worldwide to, sarado pa ang embassy. So yung mga naghihintay, yung mga gusto mag-apply ng tourist visa, student visa, yung mga H-1Bs, wala pa tayong kasiguraduhan kung kailan po kayo matatawag ng interview or makapag-apply para dun sa mga visa applications na yan. Yung mga naghihintay naman, alam natin yung mga preference categories, yung petition ng mga kapatid that takes 23 years, mga petition sa mga married children that takes about 21 years, sa mga unmarried children 10 to 12 years, na naging current yung priority date, natapos na yung process sa National Visa Center at naghihintay na lang ng kanilang interview sa US Embassy Manila. Wala pa rin definite time as of this moment. Ang sa advice po lang natin is wait and see. Tingnan natin, i-gather na ninyo yung mga documents na kailangan sa interview, kagaya ng proving relationship kung this is spousal petition or even a parent-child, child-parent relationship. I-gather na ninyo, kunin na ninyo yung PSA or yung Philippine Statistics Authority na birth certificate, marriage certificate ninyo at saka proof of relationship, meaning yung mga photographs nyo with your petitioner, or mga baptismal certificate if that is parent-child relationships. I-gather na ninyo para pagdating matawag po kayo ng interview, ready na po pagdating ng time na yon. So yun yung update natin as of this time. And again, this news is evolving. Look at the website din ng USCIS, uscis.gov. Tignan din nyo ang aming Facebook page, Reeves Immigration Law Group, yung aking personal page din na FJ Diza Immigration Attorney. Nagbibigay din tayo ng almost everyday na updates para ma-inform po kayo. You don't have to call an attorney anymore. Makikita ninyo yung ating updates regarding immigration sa aming mga website pages and social medias.
Attorney, nabanggit nyo yung mga pagsasara ng mga opisinang ito. Isa sa mga natanggap nating mga tanong is yung mga kababayan natin or anybody who's been here in the United States under some form of visa, kung mag-expire yung kanilang stay dito habang nangyayari nga itong global pandemic na ito. Pwede po ba silang mag-extend, and how can they do that na sarado po ang mga opisina?
Well, yes. Yung mga that's a good news kasi marami tayong mga kliyente yung tumatawag na ganyan na they are here on a tourist visa or student visa or working visa, temporary yung kanilang stay dito, and they really have that ticket to go home, pero hindi sila makauwi dahil may lockdown sa Pilipinas, hindi sila makakuha ng flight kung saan man sila, we advise them to file an extension. Mayroong tinatawag na extension of status o mag-change ng status. Yung mga J1 visa or mga, na hindi pwedeng mag-extend kasi very limited lang yung kanilang stay dito, pwede silang mag-change ng status, from J1 to possible tourist visa. And as we mentioned, ang USCIS is very lax, with regard to the requirement. Mag-file lang sila at naintindihan naman nila because of this COVID-19. I have a client who's telling me na, attorney, bakit pa ako maggagastos ng filing fees or professional fee kung hindi ko naman kasalanan, hindi ako makauwi, right? Wala akong yan, wala akong flight. My country will not accept me. Like for example, from India or from the Philippines na naka-lockdown pa yan at walang flight na parating. And of course, I told them, yes, it's beyond your control. That's understandable, but it's still a good idea to file an extension or change of status because, if they're going to ask you in the future why you overstayed for 2 months, di ba, or 3 months, makikita sa records mo yan, and you don't want to be, arguing and debating with the immigration officer at the port of entry why you overstayed. My suggestion is that file now. You can e-file, you can hire an attorney, you can mail it out. Although these offices are closed, they are only closed for interview purposes. Interview yung person-to-person contact, kagaya ng pag-conduct ng interview, pag-conduct ng info-pass appointment to ask questions about your case, or pag-biometrics, yung pagkuha ng fingerprints nyo at yung biographic information ninyo. Those are the only things that are not allowed. Pero USCIS still work. They render decision, they issue denials, they issue approvals, they give you work authorization. So filing an extension or changing status is still recommended because you don't want to violate your status mo, lalo na kung meron kang iniingatan na 10-year multiple yan.
Correct.
So that's advisable to file it as soon as you can.
Paano, attorney, kung napakinggan na tayo ng ating mga kababayan at biglang sinabi nila, naku, dapat pala ginawa ko ito at medyo nag-expire yung aking status, ang aking stay dito sa US by a few days already or a week or something. Can they still, makakahabol pa po ba sila?
Yes, actually, based on USCIS website, they still allow, yung acceptance ng late filing because that's understandable. To the situation, mahirap pumunta sa law office, makipag-consult, mag-print out, and even attorneys yung first and second week ng lockdown, Kuya Yo, mahirap talaga rin magtrabaho because we don't have the capacity to, print out voluminous documents in support of our applications, and eventually, ultimately, ang USCIS din nagiging lax sila na, we can accept your application by email and we accept yung wet signature or e-signature, yung electronic signature, acceptable na sa kanila yan. So those are the things that as we go along nagiging lax din ng USCIS na intindihan, and there's an easier way now to do it. So even if naglapse yan ng 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month, during this pandemic time, they can still apply that. And I just want to segue yung discussion natin yan, Kuya Yo, yung mga nakakatanggap din ng what do you call this, request for evidence, that they give you. Let's say you file an application for a green card, or even a petitioning family member, and you forgot or you failed to include yung mga other requirements that they are requesting dun sa initial filing, and USCIS requested what we call request for evidence, further evidence or further documents. USCIS automatically grants a 60 days extension. So let's say, sabi nila nung March, bibigyan ka namin ng 30 days, mag-expire ng April, nagbibigay sila ng automatically extended ng 60 days. So don't say na it's too late already, to file yung respond ninyo regarding USCIS request. I-file pa rin ninyo because as I said, mayroon silang 60 days. The same thing applies sa mga nag-expire na ng mga status. We would strongly recommend to still file it despite ng lapse ng status.
Yeah, in fact, attorney, isa yan sa mga nakaabot sa amin, yung mga RFE daw nila. Yun nga pala yun, yung kailangan pa rin sagutin at merong extension. Attorney, ito namang mga nandito sa bansa natin ngayon, na itong ang kanilang mga bansang pinanggalingan ay under the visa waiver program na hindi nila kinailangan magkaroon ng visa para pumasok. Pero meron pa rin silang limits, on how long they can stay. How do they can also extend, or are they in limbo, or?
Yes, this is actually an extraordinary time, this COVID-19. Ang mga nasa visa waiver, kagaya na nasa Europe, or yung mga people from Japan or Singapore or Europe and Hong Kong, meron tinatawag na visa waiver. Now they're only given maximum of 90 days. If and when they fail to depart, they should also request for an extension, and that's also very, very flexible ang ating USCIS ngayon. The advice that we give to our client is that file it now, whether whether your extension will be approved, or denied, or walang decision, it's still a good idea to have that receipt saying that you did your best, to extend and not to violate your status, even with the pandemic or even with this current situation that we have right now.
So ultimately, when they get these extensions, yung kanilang form I-94, ma-update yun po, attorney, ano?
Ma-update yung kanilang form I-94. Yes, that's correct. And again, as I said, whether hintayin nila yung actual decision, because filing an extension, Kuya Yo, might take about 3 months to 6 months.
Oh.
And a lot of people's yung matawag sa atin is pa-expire na. Sabi na, attorney, gusto ko lang, wala ako talagang makuhang flight, so I need to do something. So file it. Now, let's say after a month, nagiging medyo maluwag na yung pagkuha ng flight back home, then they can go home. Whether they wait for the decision or not, the fact that they have filed it, they under the immigration law, they were able to maintain that status. So that's a good news. So that extension means maintaining a lawful status para pagbalik nila dito 2 years, 3 years down the road, makikita that they have done they have filed an extension to maintain their status.
Ito pong I-94, attorney, ngayon ba ay nagbibigay pa ng paper form kamukha nung dati, binibigay sa eroplano bago ka bumaba or something? Ngayon ba ay ganito pa rin po ba? Dapat dala-dala nyo yan pagka habang nandito ka?
Not anymore. So people are surprised pag tinanong mo sa kanila na hanggang kailan ang binigay sa yung status, lalo yung mga non-immigrant visa, yung mga tourists, yung mga student, H-1Bs. They tell me, no, I don't know. Sabi ko na, you have to look at it. They have to search online. It says lang I-94. They have to key in their name, their passport number, the date of arrival, flight number, and stuff like that. Then makikita doon. Usually naman ang mga tourist visa, binibigyan sila ng 6 months. But don't be overconfident na 6 months.
Don't assume.
Kasi baka 3 months lang pala or 2 months. So nasa ano po yan? Nasa online. Nasa online na po lahat. And even your travel history for the last years that you've been here, makikita lahat doon sa I-94 online. Makikita po lahat yung in and out ninyo sa United States.
So kahit po online yan, attorney, na I-94 ngayon, you have to print it and bring it along with you?
They don't have to. The only reason why we tell them to print it out and to look at it is when they change the status in the future para makita ko anong basis mo for extending, di ba? Or let's say they marry a US citizen, makikita natin kung ano yung kung kailan sila accrue ng unlawful presence. Doon magiging basis. If they knew their validity ng kanilang stay, sinabi halimbawa ng immigration officer at the port of entry, there's no problem. But I mean, for me, I think it's still a good idea to carry it with them para kung ma-conference sila ng immigration officer, yung status mo sa America, pero meron akong 6 months, di ba? So it's really a good idea to print it out and keep it with you.
At madali mong maipoproduce pagka kailangan. Hindi na kailangan maghanapan ng computer. At least hawak-hawak nyo na. Mga kababayan, patuloy po kayong nakikinig sa Immigration Law on Your Side. Ito po hatid sa atin ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Attorney, bago po tayo magtapos sa episode na ito, baka meron po kayong ibang gustong ipaabot sa ating mga viewers.
Yes, Johan, sa mga viewers natin, if you look back at this discussion in the future, hopefully, we are experiencing the same hardship sa lahat ng mga tao worldwide. Whether you are in favor of the stay at home, or not, kasi marami nagpo-protesta, di ba? We need to respect each other's, position. But whether you are in favor of the stay at home, lockdown, quarantine, whatever you call it, this is a very difficult time. We need to hear and listen sa mga experts, mga medical experts, sa ating mga leaders na nakakaalam kung ano yung ikabubuti ng lahat. There's a lot of sacrifices going on right now, but we're hoping that yung ating dating normal babalik. Now, with regards sa immigration, this is for family unification. And also, we are hoping that, it's a family unification for people who are petitioning their family members, and for people coming here to work, and for people who are coming make the United States their refuge. Nakikita natin ang history ng immigrants, Kuya Yo. We are here immigrants are integral part ng American society, American people, and we always see that a lot of us, always take care. Marami tayong healthcare professionals, whether we are here to work, whether we are here to, join a family member. We see immigrants are contributing members of the society. We care for our elderly, we care for the sick, and I hope that President Trump's tweet regarding suspension of suspension of immigration will not push through, because we all know the big contribution of immigrant community in the United States. And maraming salamat, at sana patuloy po tayong tangkilikin ang PHLV Radio, lahat ng programa po ng PHLV Radio at ang aming programang Immigration Law on Your Side.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Diza, and regards na lang po sa inyong lahat dyan sa Reeves Immigration Law Group, sa lahat po ng mga opisina worldwide. And of course, mukhang dahil nga dito sa pag-online natin, mukhang mas lumiit ang mundo at mas nagkikita-kita tayo online. And it's always a pleasure to see you, Attorney, kung hindi man dito mismo sa studio ng PHLV Radio sa Las Vegas, sa ganitong pamamaraan online. And we hope to have you again on our next episode. Mga kababayan, tutok lamang po dito sa PHLV Radio para sa mga updates tungkol sa immigration. Again, maraming salamat, Attorney Flomy Diza ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Ito po si Kuya Yo ng PHLV Radio. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa inyong pakikinig, at kami po ay magbabalik sa susunod na episode ng Reeves Immigration Law Group's Immigration Law on Your Side. We'll see you next time.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has just brought you Immigration Law on Your Side, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Pacific on PHLV Radio.